In the land of the free, the home of the brave, and the land of opportunity, there lies a shadow that looms over the American dream, a shadow that stretches far and wide, casting darkness that seeps into the very fabric of society, leaving a trail of despair and desolation in its wake. This shadow is poverty, and it is a plague that has been spreading its toxic tendrils throughout the nation, consuming the hopes and dreams of countless Americans. And in this video, we'll embark on a journey through the heart of this darkness, a startling discovery of the true face of poverty in America. Join us on this quest to uncover the hidden truths of poverty and shed light on the harsh realities that so many Americans face every day. Let us delve into the depths of despair and emerge with a renewed sense of purpose, a determination to fight this insidious enemy, and restore the promise of the American dream to all those who seek it. In a world where science has advanced to the point of mapping the entire human genome and eradicating deadly diseases, it's hard to fathom that one problem has remained stubbornly unchanged: poverty. Despite all the technological progress and medical breakthroughs, poverty still lingers in America, infecting more than 11% of the population, or roughly 1 in 9 people. It's a problem that has persisted for over 50 years, defying every attempt at eradication. As infant mortality rates and death from heart disease have fallen by roughly 7%, and the average American has gained almost a decade of life, the problem of poverty has remained stagnant. It's as if a dark cloud has been hanging over America, raining down despair and hopelessness on those trapped in its grip. So why has there been no real improvement in the fight against poverty? Why has progress been so elusive? The graph of the share of Americans living in poverty over the past half-century resembles gently rolling hills, with the line curving slightly up, then slightly down, then back up again over the years. It stays steady throughout Democratic and Republican administrations, rising in recessions and falling in boom years. It's a haunting reality, and it begs the question, how can we overcome this stasis and break free from this cycle of poverty? Let's take a moment to talk about a stark reality that many of us face every day but choose to ignore: homelessness. Homelessness is a gut-wrenching situation that millions of Americans find themselves in, with nowhere to call home and no place to feel safe. The sight of someone holding a cardboard sign asking for help has become an all-too-familiar scene in many cities across the country. It's not just a lack of shelter, it's a lack of dignity and basic human rights. We can all agree that we need more housing, but the reality is that rents are skyrocketing even in cities with plenty of available apartments. Take Birmingham, Alabama, for instance, where almost 19% of rental units sat vacant at the end of 2021, or Syracuse, New York, where 12% of rental units were unoccupied. Despite this surplus, rents in these areas have increased by roughly 14% and 8% respectively over the past 2 years. This trend isn't limited to these cities, as national data shows that rental avenues have outpaced property owners' expenses in recent years, particularly for multifamily properties in poor neighborhoods. So, what's causing these skyrocketing rents? It's not just a reflection of rising operating costs. The root of the issue lies in the fact that poor people have little to no choice when it comes to where they live. Landlords take advantage of this, overcharging them for properties they would never command the same rent in more affluent areas, and it's a vicious cycle, and it's one that's difficult to break. Another heartbreaking manifestation of poverty in America is child poverty. In a country that prides itself on freedom and opportunity, it's hard to fathom that 1 in 6 children lives in poverty. But this is the reality for many kids, who face daily struggles like hunger, malnutrition, and lack of access to basic healthcare and education. Sadly, these challenges have lasting effects that can trap families in the cycle of poverty for generations. Slums and ghettos are another devastating consequence of poverty in America. These areas are characterized by crime, dilapidated housing, and a lack of basic necessities like clean water and sanitation. Living in such conditions can be detrimental to a person's health and well-being, and can make them feel hopeless and disconnected from society. The high cost of living in America is also a major contributor to poverty. With skyrocketing housing costs, medical bills, and education expenses, many Americans find themselves struggling to make ends meet. The burden of healthcare expenses is particularly concerning, as it can lead to financial ruin for families who are already struggling. Lack of opportunity is another significant factor that perpetuates poverty in America. Many people, especially those in rural areas, face limited job prospects and struggle to earn a living wage. This lack of opportunity can create a feeling of hopelessness and despair, which can contribute to other issues like addiction and mental health problems. Education is a crucial factor in breaking the cycle of poverty, but unfortunately, it is not equally accessible to everyone. The cost of education is exorbitant, making it difficult for many families to afford. Underfunded schools in low-income areas also lack the resources and qualified teachers necessary to provide quality education, perpetuating the cycle of educational inequality. 10 poorest states in the USA. Let's delve into the sobering topic, the 10 poorest states in America. The United States is a mosaic of 50 states, each with its own identity, culture, and population. From the glitz and glamour of New York to the laid-back lifestyle of California, there's something for everyone in this vast and diverse country. But unfortunately, not all states have been endowed with equal opportunities, and some have higher poverty rates than others. It's important to recognize that poverty is a complex issue with many contributing factors, but understanding the various areas of poverty in America and how they impact people's lives, we can begin to work towards solutions that can help alleviate this widespread problem. Our first contender is Puerto Rico, a U.S. territory with a population of over 3 million people. Shockingly, 43.41% of its inhabitants live below the poverty line, underscoring the daily struggle faced by many Puerto Ricans. Mississippi takes second place with a population of almost 3 million people and a poverty rate of 19.58%. Despite being renowned for its rich cultural heritage, this state bears one of the highest poverty rates in the nation. Yet Mississippians are an unyielding and determined lot, overcoming challenges with remarkable resilience. In third place is Louisiana, boasting a population of over 4.5 million and a poverty rate of 18.65%. Famous for its Creole cuisine and jazz music, the state is also home to many families struggling to make ends meet. But don't let that fool you. Louisiana is a state rich in culture and community spirit. New Mexico takes fourth place with over 2 million residents and a poverty rate of 18.55%. The southwestern state is celebrated for its breathtaking scenery and rich Native American history. Yet despite its cultural significance, poverty remains a recurring issue for many New Mexicans. West Virginia sits in fifth place, home to over 1.7 million people and a poverty rate of 17.10%. This state is famous for its scenic beauty and Appalachian culture, but poverty remains an immense challenge for many residents. In sixth place is Kentucky, with over 4.3 million residents and a poverty rate of 16.61%. Famous for its horse racing and bourbon, Kentucky is also home to many families struggling to make ends meet. Arkansas claims seventh place with nearly 3 million residents and a poverty rate of 16.8%. This state is recognized for its picturesque Ozark Mountains and southern hospitality, but economic hardships affect many households. Alabama comes in eighth place with over 4.7 million residents and a poverty rate of 15.98%. The state is renowned for its civil rights history and southern charm, yet poverty continues to be an enduring issue for numerous families. In ninth place is the District of Columbia, home to over 669,000 people and a poverty rate of 15.45%. The state is celebrated for its historic landmarks and political clout, but it's also home to many families struggling to make ends meet. Lastly, Oklahoma rounds out our list with over 3.8 million residents and a poverty rate of 15.27%. The state is famous for its oil production and Native American history, but economic struggles persist for many Oklahomans. So there you have it, the 10 poorest states in America. It's a tough reality for a lot of folks living in these states, but there is hope. Despite the challenges faced by those living in poverty in America, there are reasons to believe that things can and will get better. After all, there's a reason why it's called the land of opportunity. Firstly, there are organizations and individuals working tirelessly to address poverty in these areas. From local community groups to national charities, there are people who care and are actively trying to make a difference. These groups provide assistance with basic needs such as food and shelter, as well as resources to help individuals find employment and get back on their feet. Moreover, it's important to acknowledge that the government plays a crucial role in addressing poverty. Though it's not always apparent, there are policies and programs in place to help those in need. From the supplemental security income to the special supplemental nutrition program for women, infants, and children, and temporary assistance for needy families, including pass-through child support, there are several safety net programs that provide support for those struggling to make ends meet. Finally, we must not forget the resilience and strength of the individuals living in poverty. Despite facing immense challenges, many people in these communities continue to work hard and persevere. While poverty is significant in many areas of America, there are reasons to believe that there is hope for a better future. Through the efforts of individuals, organizations, and government programs, as well as the strength and resilience of those living in poverty, we can work towards a more just and equitable society. It won't be easy, and there is much work to be done, but with a collective effort, we can create a better tomorrow for all Americans. As we come to the end of this eye-opening video, we hope that you are now fully aware of the alarming reality of poverty in America. It's a problem that affects millions of people across the country, and it's not going away anytime soon. It's up to us to take action and make differences in our community. Whether it's volunteering at a local food bank, supporting initiatives to provide affordable housing, or advocating for policies that help lift people out of poverty, there is much we can do. Together, we can work towards a future where every American has the opportunity to thrive and reach their full potential. If you found this video informative, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking content. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.